This is Nancy Leader on the Zeta Report.
The home planet of the Annunaki is Nibiru, more massive than Earth. Thus, to withstand the gravity of their home planet, the Annunaki are 50% larger than man. Ancient records from the Sumerians and Egyptians depict the Annunaki and its traveling planets, the winged globe. This winged globe appeared on one of NASA's SOHO images in 2009, confirming the arrival of Nibiru in the inner solar system in 2003, as these 2003 photos of the inbound complex shows. The Annunaki are here in the solar system, picking up their gold from Phobos, the moon of Mars where robotic mining has been ongoing, but they will not interact with man. The Annunaki are no longer on Earth, having been chased off the Earth by the Council of Worlds for unduly influencing the spiritual mindset of man. But in the past, things were different. Many ancient gods, such as the gods of Mount Olympus and the German Visigoth, were Annunaki, as was Samson. Goliath was Annunaki, but David, who slew him, was a half-breed. The Annunaki built the Great Pyramids, estimated to be 3,800 years old, as navigational devices prior to the last pole shift. They were on Earth up until that time. Traces of the Annunaki on Earth are the Great Pyramids, pyramids throughout the world, and the giant heads on Easter Island. Landing glyphs found in Peru and Tibet were to guide Annunaki landings, and their influence on the Mayan culture is of record, most notably due to the Mayan calendar. These landing guides are also found in Tibet and other places around the globe. The Annunaki were on Mars even before mining for gold on Earth, and came to the smarmy Earth only because they had ruined Mars by running its water underground while washing their ore. The Mars rover even found an Annunaki doll. And since the Annunaki interbred with man, are there traces of their bloodlines on Earth today? An elusive tribe in Patagonia, captured on film in 1982 and mentioned by European explorers, carry this bloodline, per the Zetas. From the time when pure-blood Annunaki were in the vicinity, enslaving mankind for work in their mines, relations were not good between the Annunaki and their slaves. Rebellions occurred when many Annunaki were injured and lost their lives, and these hybrids were aware of the legacy left to them. It became part of their culture to avoid contact with human society. Zeta Talk. Then there are the mummies of the high Tibetan plateau. Like the Patagonian giants, these mummies are over 7 foot tall. All have thin faces like the depictions of the Annunaki, but most telling is the teeth in the lower jaws. Because the chin is so pointed, the teeth are sideways, unlike human teeth. Per the Zetas, these mummies carried Annunaki blood. In modern humans, a tight jaw space creates overlapping front teeth, not a neat arrangement where the teeth are placed sideways. This, combined with the tall stature, suggests a mix with Annunaki DNA, and this suggestion is correct. The ancient Kwang had a heavy dose of Annunaki DNA, with the sideways placement of teeth in the narrow lower jaw so typical of the Annunaki, and the tall, lanky stature of the Annunaki. Zeta Talk. The Annunaki were known to be able to levitate great stones, thus the walls in Peru, the Great Pyramids, and the heads on Easter Island. Man today cannot levitate such stones, but this was not Annunaki technology, but the technology of a snake race in the service to self-orientation. Interested in seeing mankind intimidated, the Council of Worlds stepped in. This alliance formed the basis for the quarantine the Council of Worlds eventually imposed, so that man could have a balanced spiritual environment during its third density experience. Zeta Talk. The snake race used a race of dwarves as technologists, whose burial grounds have been discovered in the mountains of Tibet. These short, fat snakes are also depicted in the Tibetan Dropa stones, which have yet to be decrypted, but the legends spread beyond Tibet. Thor's hammer of legend was a device developed by the dwarves, as Thor was an Annunaki. Per Wikipedia, when Thor was 8, Odin sent him to Nidavellir, the land of the dwarves, to bid the dwarves Brok and Eitiri to create 3 treasures for Asgard's ruler. Thor's hammer, when thrown, did not miss its mark and returned to his hand. Lightning bolts emitted from the hammer, but where the Annunaki have left their mark on earth and in legend, they are gone from the earth and will not return.
Until next time on the Zeta Report, I'm Nancy Leader.